Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you are watching it right now, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Four of Cups. Cups in the tarot represent love, quite often romantic love, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it could be just love of someone or something, a friend, a family, a pet, etc. Or even something you love to do or be. This person is sitting under this tree and they're disappointed and they're being offered a cup of, that's Stella, my cat. She's decided to join us. Her job is to sit on my lap and purr. She's already got happy feet. Purring raises the vibration to a very high frequency and can even lower blood pressure. I figure we could all use a little bit of that. So thank you, Stella. Now be a good girl. All right, so the cups, this is representing someone that's been disappointed. And he's being offered another cup of love, but he's like, no, thank you. I already have 3 cups here and I've been disappointed every time. So this could be 3 different relationships that you had in love, or maybe people in your life that are in your inner circle that have disappointed you. This can also represent someone that you've given 3 chances to, and they're asking for a 4th chance, and you're like, no way, 3 strikes, you're out, I'm done, I'm not putting up with your shift anymore. Or it could represent someone not wanting to put up with yours. The other scenario might be that there was a third party in what was supposed to be a couple, and clearly this individual is not happy about that, and worse yet, it could be that there is a pregnancy involved because of that, and that's another cup of love coming in. The best love of all, a baby, but if it's not yours and you're in a couplehood, it's not the most ideal situation. Although all babies are a gift from the universe, it's not the baby's fault. Here we have 3 of Wands. So yes, this is talking about someone who's standing on the precipice of change, ready to expand your horizons, like wanting to move on to something different, something better, something more suitable for you. And this is talking like the Wands in tarot represent the element of fire, and it's about action. So they're made of wood, and they also represent the tree. So it's talking about having the deep roots from the ancestors as well as the offshoots being the descendants. This person is standing on one horizon and looking over at the other and thinking, I would like some change in my life. I would like some major shift to happen. And there just happens to be ships sailing by. I know the water here looks yellow, but that's because the sun is shining on it. It's golden. And this person's thinking, I think I'm just going to hop on one of them ships and go for an adventure. That kind of energy. This can quite often say that you're leaving a situation where you were a couple, and you are now moving forward as a single person. Also in matters of business or that kind of energy, it can talk about leaving a business that you had a partner in, or getting a new partner or something like that. Also, it actually can represent physically relocating where you live. And we have, okay, so this is more clarification here. It looks like this situation definitely was a disappointment. We do have 2 cups here that have wine in them, and 1 cup of something that poisoned the relationship apparently, because these are spilt and there's no recovering them. So this is a loss that can't be recovered. This in the back there's still 2 cups standing, but he's so focused on what's been lost that he he can't remove himself from that energy. And so, you could stand here for the rest of your life, and some people do. When they get hurt in love, they never explore it again. But the best thing he could do is turn around, pick up these 2 cups that are still standing, and be grateful, oh, thank God there's still 2 cups standing, and walk with them down the path, over the bridge over troubled water, to his castle. And you'll notice in the background the castle is also half standing and half dilapidated. This is representing an energy. What's your attitude going to be? Is it going to be the glass is half full or the glass is half empty? And there's a saying, don't cry over spilled milk, because once it's in the ground, you're not going to be able to recover this. This is saying that this is not something to be recovered. So this person, I feel, has been in a situation where they're disappointed in this way, clearly disappointed in love, and moving on from the relationship. Okay, we have, whoops, that's 2 cards. Hold on a second, there we have it. Okay, so now you're a rebel with a cause. You've got this wand, and this is your passion now. I'm going to find some adventure. I want to be enthusiastic about life again. Maybe you've been angry for a while or grieving. And so the red plume on the back of the helmet here represents an energy of being really emotional. So this can represent anger a lot of the time, or it can represent like grief, moving through the stages of that. When we lose a significant relationship, it often can feel like someone has passed on, the same grief process basically. And so, but now there's a new passion, a new vitality for moving forward in life. And reining in the emotions has really empowered that, and also disciplining your mind so that you're looking forward to where you're going rather than being caught in the loss from the past. This is the pyramids in the background represent a passion for new discovery, exploring the mysteries of life again, and just feeling more passionate about life in general. The tunic on the Knight of Wands that he's wearing, it has the salamanders in a circle, and it has a lion here. This represents protection from fire. So it's like, he has really learned to rein himself in so that he doesn't make impulsive choices and end up regretting his decisions. So this is good energy to be in. And then we have, and the knights, they would deliver communication for the court, for the king and the queen. They would travel for miles. This was the only long distance communication that they had, and it was in person by horse, and it would take a long time, clearly, to ride all the way there and then get the information and then ride all the way back. These days, it could be in person, but unlikely by horse. It more likely is a phone call, a text message, a letter in the mail, an email. Maybe you're on social media and someone messages you, or you see an event posted there and you go to the event and you run into someone and it's the perfect person that you needed to meet. This also, it's really a good idea to take at least 5 minutes out of your day to find out what's going on at the top of of the world, like the leaders of the world, because whatever there is happening in their lives is happening on a different level below. And so it might give you an idea of which direction to take in any given situation. We have temperance here. So temperance is speaking about staying on your destined path, the one that you came here, being the best version of you that you can be. And temperance, quite often, a lot of people feel this card represents earth angel energy, where in the Bible, it says that God sends 144,000 angels down to the earth, and they distribute, pure energy to make the world a better and more beautiful place. This angel has her foot in the universal waters, and this is her right foot, so it's talking about taking action to put her own special alchemy, her own special qualities into the universal pool. And then she also has her left foot grounded on earth, and you notice where her foot is grounded, there's beautiful flowers growing already. So this is about staying on your path of glory, and that's represented by the sun. The sun represents God and happiness, like joyfulness. We have the shift disturber. So this would be this energy here. The shift disturber is a walking contradiction. This is someone who he's moving forward but looking backwards. He is looking over his shoulder because apparently he needs to. He's sneaking around in broad daylight. So he, and he's got these 5 swords here, and he has 2 planted here. Now, we don't really know what the purpose of this is, but he's acting like a thief. But he's not a thief in the night because he's in broad daylight here, sneaking around for everybody to see. So it's kind of a weird energy, and we don't really know what he's up to. We just know that he's not looking where he's going. And look how he's carrying the swords. Like, this is so dangerous. Like, nobody carries swords like this. If he trips, he could lose his hands here. These are very sharp. And, he's not looking where he's going, so he could trip very easily. If he is this unsafe with his own energy and, doesn't have any regard for his own safety, then, for himself, then he's not going to have any more regard for others. So this energy is, if you're involved with this person in any way, shape, or form, he may be a very innovative thinker and, playing out different scenarios in his head, but he may be a thief in broad daylight, which could be representing, the swords in tarot represent your mind, your mental intelligence, your thoughts. And your thoughts are expressed by words. Words are either verbal or they're on paper. And so this could be someone like white collar crime kind of energy, where they're in broad daylight sitting in their office, working, doing paperwork, not legal paperwork. So when this energy comes around, you have to be really careful. Any contracts or agreements, you want to make sure that they're on the up and up, and you dot your I's and you cross your T's, and you have a lawyer look over everything, a lawyer that knows what they're doing. Yeah, because there's temptation here. So this energy sometimes, like the innovative energy, instead of using it to bring in their own projects and that, they tend to meddle in other people's affairs and cause, being tempted to maybe take what part of the profits or whatever that is. And so the devil is kind of confirming that this energy is not in your best interest. And the temptation card, when it comes up, the devil is manipulative. So you're not going to get the truth from the devil. There's 2 lovers here, and they are yoked to each other and then chained to Saturn's box. And it's sitting right on this disappointment. So perhaps you were in a relationship and you thought you were a couple, but in actual fact, there was infidelity involved, and maybe the relationship for the other person was more about lust than love. And you just didn't read the connection correctly. And so the disappointment is, having been involved in this relationship and possibly what's happened. And it could be, it's not just a matter of your heart, but there was some energy here that caused a lot of problems for you. We don't have a whole lot of information here yet, but we're not going to get the truth from the devil because, as I said, it's a very manipulative energy. So we're going to just cover that and see with the next card, who's the minion that the devil sends in? What's it about? Or does God step in and empower? Okay, it's about money. And this energy can be talking about turning your back on the city because of what's happened here. And so this card actually represents that you do have a strong foundation for being able to bring pentacles in. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness. And in this case, this card in particular is about making money, the 3 levels of making money. And this is saying you have a strong foundation, but it's just enough. You don't have money to play around with, like to waste. And this is going for your heart's desires, and then your crown and glory. Your crown and glory is when you're on your destined path. And so you have to be on your destined path to be able to get to the crown and glory level. If your heart's desires are not authentic, and sitting on this devil, that's this energy here. I feel this was representing the energy of the person that you're disappointed in. Now this could be in business, or it could be in romantic love. Maybe you gave them a lot of chances, and they just didn't come through. But I feel like in this case it could be someone you're in business with that also was a lover of yours. And they maybe meddled in your business, and it's caused you to have to like play it small now, because you lost a bunch of money, reputation, that kind of energy because of the association with this person. And now, like, you've turned your back on the city. Sometimes this can represent that you have to leave the place where you are now to be able to change locations so that you can start over again, basically. And this also can represent leaving your comfort zone, not playing small, and not being played. This can be that you've sold yourself short, or someone else has. There's a shortfall in your pentacles, and now. Pentacles do represent coin, because money is a big part of health, wealth, and happiness on the third dimensional plane. But this is talking about lifestyle. And so you could have all the money in the world, but still not be living the lifestyle you want. And so you could be, have a strong foundation here, and maybe moving on to your heart's desires, that kind of energy, or thought you were. And then you found out about all this shifty energy in the background. Time to move on is the energy. And we have, then once you make that decision that, you're done with this energy, you're not going to deal with this energy anymore, you're moving on, maybe even changing location. We have 2 cards here that say you might move, and just to get away from this energy, basically. Could be more than one person. It could be 7 different people. Which is different. I'm picking that up. And then there's 7 opportunities after that. Isn't that interesting? So you let go of the 7 swords, your thoughts and the words of, and this could be people stealing away your, your reputation for your career, etc. And so this is now like when you let go of this energy and you decide, no, I'm not going with you, devil. I'm going to stay with this. I would rather have a solid foundation here to work with. And then as soon as you make that decision to leave this energy behind and become a rebel with the cause, the universe opens up opportunities to you. So each of these gifts is a cup with a gift in it. But you have to decide which of these cups you are going to be, which ones do you want to accept right now? What can you handle? How are you going to handle it? Basically, you're a black hole, just like sucking in all this opportunity. But like a black hole, you're the center of your universe. So you have to put your own spin on this. A lot of times these can be challenges, possibilities disguised as challenges. And so you're going to have to put your own energy into these opportunities to make them work. And I feel like this is saying that for every sword that you let go of, every thought you let go of what happened, the disappointment and that, and decide, you know what, I'm just going to get back on my path here and I'm going to move forward. That's when all these opportunities come in and replace the negative thinking. That's what I feel is happening here. Yes, and you decide, I'm walking away. And isn't that interesting? Because we have like 5 cups here and then 2, a gap, and 1. And so quite often this represents third party. Where there was, you were supposed to be in a couplehood, but there was, there's a gap here, and then there's another person involved. This energy here sometimes can represent the 7-year itch, which is a phenomena that happens where statistically people that get married, if they don't get divorced in the first year, when they realize this wasn't a good idea at all, in the 7th year, for whatever reason, the statistics are very high that between the 7th and 8th year, that's when people tend to walk away from significant relationships like marriage and other commitments. It's really interesting because statistically, people also tend to walk away from a house that they purchased 7 years after the purchase. And if they start a business, walking away from a business 7 years after. So this could represent, you're walking away from your home, your business, and your partner, or one of the above, or they walked away from you, that kind of energy. So, but in any case, I feel like in this particular case, that because we have this energy here, this is saying that you're on your destined path. And so, and these opportunities are coming in. And isn't it interesting that there's 7 opportunities to replace that energy? And that's the choice you made. I'm going after the opportunities. Smart choice. This is talking about full moon and new moon energy. This is about talking, when there's a full moon and a new moon, that's a really good time to tune in with your intuition. Actually, any time is a good time. If you use a combination, the swords here of representing discipline of the mind and your mental intelligence, your thought process, this energy, these are double-edged swords, and they're basically, you need to use your logic and your intuition to have creative solutions to any problem. So that's talking about using that intuitive energy as wisely as you can, adding logic to it. And then we have the hangman. So the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge, taking time out here to go inward and tune in to what does your heart want? What are your authentic heart desires? So you know the direction that you're going in. And so the hangman wants balance in their life. I apologize if that's a bit loud. I thought my dishwasher was done its cycle, but maybe that's talking about the energy. I have a pretty good mic on, but that was pretty loud. It'll stop in a second, but it's kind of funny as I'm talking about walking away and taking the time when there's chaos like that and the noise comes in. That's what the hangman does. He hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's upside down because he wants to gain a new perspective on a situation that he's in so he can make a strong choice. And when the aura around his head lights up, then he knows, okay, I'm ready to move out in balance and take action in a balanced way. And look there's a new cup of love coming in. So this is talking about a lot of new opportunities coming in. And so one of these cups of love could be a new partner for you, and one that's more suitable. So this is from the bottom to the top and back down. We have someone who is wanting to expand their horizons and possibly leave the relationship they're in, or someone has left it and they're moving forward as a single person. There's a lot of opportunities that come in after this energy when you walk away. So this is it's representing that energy of needing to walk away from a situation that is not in your best interest, so that you can move forward in a strong way. And that's when eventually when you heal from all of this, you'll meet a person that's much more suited for you. And hey, sometimes that can just be because you're more mature and you've learned a lot and are better at relationships. And so this is having a balanced approach to life, and smelling this energy out right quick. If someone's a walking contradiction, they're going to cause chaos in your life, and they might find it fun to live dangerously. But it's all fun until someone loses their eye or their hands. Like, you wouldn't want to trip with carrying swords like that. And then this is temperance. So being patient to stay on your destined path, it requires patience. And I feel like this strong foundation that you have for making money will move into your heart's desires when you get into this energy. And, and learning from the disappointment here instead of wallowing in it. Learning to control your emotions and move forward, rebel with the cause, that kind of energy. this, if you feel like, I've got it, I'm good, I'm leaving the reading now, thank you for your time and energy. Give it a like and comment, please. It does help me to build my channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing. You're more than welcome. And for those of you who who want to know more, I want to know more. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, let's go. So this is Tales from the Vector, my oracle, and we're using it to clarify. It's something I started back in 2007. I completed 64 paintings in 2020. Just explaining while I tune in here. And we're going to use this energy. I'm working on bringing this out, this oracle out now. I'm working on the book that goes with it, with the information, and I want to play with it in real life. Now that all the paintings are done, this is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and there's some very big paintings of dragons from the future. So it took a while. I'm an artist, so I had a lot of fun with it. But 64 paintings later, while I was busy doing other shift. And so now in the description box below, I will put them in the numbers on the cards that I'm using here represent the order that the paintings are displayed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I will put them under the description box below in the order that they appear here, so that if you want to look them up, you can. All right, so we have this energy coming in of being an emperor. The emperor represents the qualities of all four kings from the minor arcana wrapped into one person. Someone's that all about performance. So this is talking about, if you learn from any of your mistakes in the past, from your relationships, whether it to do with something you love to do or be, or a relationship with a significant other or a partner in business or whatever it is, when you learn from that, every time you learn from your past mistakes, you actually become a better version of yourself. And people who don't make mistakes aren't pushing themselves to reach a higher level. So this is all about wanting to have the performance of an emperor. So this is really good energy. It's saying that you've done a lot of shadow work on yourself, and you're invested, like the rebel with a cause, in improving your performance. Way to be. This is the Chariot. This is coming in fast, whatever's happening here. It's already happening on the spiritual level, and it's like the power of spin, basically. And it's talking about like putting your own spin on your life. If you stay on your destined path and you are patient when times get a little bit rough, and don't do impulsive behaviors that cause problems in your life, you're probably going to get to where you want to go with your authentic desires and your path of glory quicker. This requires strength and integrity for sure. So this is about being strong enough to be able to look at your shadow side. It's not easy sometimes looking at ourselves and saying, okay, we need to take a look at this here, this is, and there's a fine line. You want to have analytical critique when it comes to your performance. Sometimes you're doing something totally new that you don't really know what you're doing. And sometimes you knew what you were doing, and you knew better, and you could have done better. So it's that kind of energy, being honest with yourself, and how can I improve my performance? And then we have worldly and otherworldly desires. So this can be a karmic space. If you're giving yourself total permission to go after what you want, make sure that it's authentic desires that are in alignment with your goals, like with your destiny, rather than being in an energy like this where you don't really have clarity as to where you want to go, and it causes problems for yourself yourself and others. This cycle is over. You've learned from this, and so that's the important thing. When you learn from this energy, then you don't repeat it, and then you're going to have better performance the next cycle around. Good for you. And that's how we learn. And that, and it's not even saying that this is necessarily a bad person or whatever. They might just be a little bit goofy, and not they don't really have like this energy here where they're really passionate about something that they want to complete. So they're, you know, they're not focused on anything. And then we have the base root chakra, which is talking about, you know, survival in the third dimensional world. You have to have a good attitude. And so, yeah, you could stand here and be disappointed, or sit under this tree and be disappointed for the rest of your life. And some people do. If you have a good attitude, you can make a wish. You know, some people wish on a shooting star, and then they just sit there and wait for it to fall in their lap. And it's highly unlikely. That's why the universe, when the universe gives you opportunities, a gift of all these opportunities like this, it's a reward for, you know, having a good attitude, basically. And the bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. So, you know, are you up for it? And then this is talking about having a blind spot. So, yeah, love is blind. I've come to that conclusion from doing all these readings, because it keeps coming up. Sometimes there's some things we just don't want to see, so we don't. Others can see it and they can tell us, look at, like, you need to take a look at this, but you don't listen. The universe might tell you. And you have to learn, sometimes we have to learn things the hard way. And then sometimes there's something that maybe you see that others don't. And they might be like, whoa, that person, like, why are they doing that? That's ridiculous. That's never going to work. That kind of energy. And then it turns out, hey, you were on your authentic path and it turned out awesome. And yeah, and this is about the judgment of the universe that really matters. If you're on God's path, God understands you like no one else does. And the universe will support what you're doing. If you're on your path of glory, then when you are dealing with your ability to bring these pentacles in, you're going to be past your authentic desires, and the universe, you're not going to be supported by the universe with your crown and glory if you don't make strong choices when you're down here, because you'll just lose it. And so the universe waits until you have strong judgment. And so this is talking, I feel like this isn't talking so much about judgment of anyone or anything like coming from outside of you. This is more about having strong judgment within yourself, you know, making strong choices. That's the energy. I really enjoyed this reading. It's full of really good advice. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I never know what we're going to get with Random Shift. This one I enjoyed. So I do consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another reading about Random Shift in a timely manner. Bye for now. Gotta wake you up, Stella. Oh, you would speak. Whoop.